This visa does not require any relationship whatsoever with the perpetrator of the crime. My name is John Lawit, and today we're going to talk about U visas. U visas are for victims of criminal activity. This is a form of humanitarian relief that allows certain people who have been victims of certain crimes to be able to apply for permanent residency in the United States. The person who's the crime victim can be here on a non-immigrant visa and in lawful status, or can be here completely illegally. There are some 29 different crimes that qualify a person to be able to apply for a U visa. Some of these crimes are abuse of sexual contact, domestic violence, felonious assault, incest, manslaughter, murder, rape, sexual assault, sexual exploitation, torture, unlawful criminal restraint, just to name a few. Of course, each of these crimes have different definitions. The way the U visa process works is that the person must make a complaint to law enforcement that they've been a victim of this crime, one of the crimes. Then they must make the police report, and they must agree to cooperate with the police and assist them in any way possible to help identify and prosecute the person who committed the crime. Then a certification must be signed by a law enforcement agent certifying that the person has made the complaint and that the crime that they complained of is one of the 29 different categories. That application is combined with an additional application and is filed with USCIS. After reviewing what the law enforcement agent said in their part of the petition, the USCIS can grant U visa status. With the granting of U visa status, the person is eligible to work in the United States and to stay lawfully in the United States. The final stage after being granted U visa status is to apply for permanent residency. The process, however, is very slow because only 10,000 crime victims a year can immigrate based on the fact that they've been a victim of one of these crimes. The process often takes 5 or 6 years from the time the crime is reported to the time the person gets permanent residence. But the crime victim is allowed to stay in the United States, is allowed to work, and in many cases can qualify for a travel document. This visa does not require any relationship whatsoever with the perpetrator of the crime. The crime victim might know the person who committed the crime, but in many cases, this is a crime committed by a total stranger. It's very important to understand that not all crimes will qualify for U visa treatment. Another aspect of U visas is since individual police departments generally are the ones who certify that the person has been a victim of a qualifying crime, they often limit the time that they're willing to sign the certifications. Some police departments require that it must be reported within 6 months of the crime happening, or they won't consider signing the U certifications. Other police departments have no limits whatsoever, and whenever the crime is reported, they are willing to file the necessary U certification from the police department. So it's very important to understand that being a crime victim may not be enough, because if the police department severely limits the time frame in which you can apply for a U visa, even though you've been a crime victim, in many cases the police will not sign the necessary papers. Now, it does not require the police to sign the papers. In most cases, that's who signs them, because people make complaints to the police department. But any judge can sign it. A governor of a state could sign it. Certain legislators might be able to sign the certification. And so even though the police department may have a very restrictive time frame in which they're willing to sign the necessary certifications, there may be other people in state government that would be willing to do it. Judges in particular are very good persons to sign these certifications, because any judge in any state would be able to sign the certification and allow you to move on to the next step to actually file the application for the U visa. So this is a very useful type of visa to protect crime victims from the terror they live under as a result of the crimes that have been perpetrated against them.